Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session on quadratic equations. In quadratic equations, today we will look at how to find the roots of the quadratic equation using factorization method. Okay. So in previous sessions, we learned what's the standard form of a quadratic equation. So the standard form of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay. So where a should not be equal to 0, right? If a becomes 0, then it will become a linear equation in terms of x. So we should have an x square term for this to be a quadratic equation. Now, how to solve the quadratic equation using factorization method? So let me take any one example here. For example, take this equation, 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. So this is the quadratic equation. Let's see how to find the roots of this quadratic equation using the factorization method. So just follow the steps that I am going to tell you now. So what we need to do is the x square term and the last term here, which is the constant. If we product these two, right? So 2x square into the last term, that is 3. That becomes 6x square. Now for this 6x square, you need to split this. You need to write such a way that the middle term here, what is the middle term? Minus 5x. If I add this middle term, I need to split such a way that if I add that, I should get that minus 5x. And if I product it, if I multiply those two, I should get 6x square. So can I simply say that 5x, can I write as 2x and 3x here, right? 6x square. If I product, I'm getting 6x square. If I add, I'm getting 5x, but I need minus 5x. So can I add minus here to both 2x and 3x? So if I add minus 2x minus 3x, I'm getting the middle term here, which is minus 5x. If I multiply this to minus 2x into minus 3x, minus and minus becomes plus. So I'm getting the 6x square value. So the thumb rule here is to divide these we need to split the middle term such a way that if I add those two, I should get the middle term. If I multiply that, then I should get 6x square. Where we got this 6x square from? By multiplying the first term and the last term in the quadratic equation. All right. So now what I will do is this 2x square, this 5x, I can write as minus 2x minus 3x plus 3 equal to 0. Fair? So this 5x I have replaced as minus 2x minus 3x. So why I did so? Because in the first two terms, if you see, I can take 2x common. And here in the last two terms, if you can see, I can take 3 as common. So here I will take in the first two terms, I'll take 2x as common. Then this becomes x minus 1. Right? If I multiply, I'll get these two terms here. Now here, I'll take minus 3 common. If I take minus 3 common, this is x minus 1. So minus 3 into minus 1 is plus 3. Right? So in these two terms now, if you see x minus 1 is common. So x minus 1 into 2x minus 3. That is 0. So now I have transformed that quadratic equation into two linear factors. Right? So I'm saying this as linear factors because this has only x term. There is no x square term. So that's why I'm calling these as linear factors. So now can I say x minus 1 can be 0 or 2x minus 3 can be 0. If I substitute any one value into that linear factors, that equation becomes 0. So I can equate either x minus 1 as 0 or 2x minus 3 as 0. So then x becomes 1 here. Here 2x becomes 3. Then x becomes 3 by 2. So here we got two values for x, that is x is 1 and x is 3 by 2. So we can call these two values as the roots of this quadratic equation 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Okay. So listen carefully how we need to follow this factorization method to find the roots of any quadratic equation is a quadratic equation has three terms, x square term, x term, and a constant. Now you product the first term and the constant. So that is 2x square into 3, which is 6x square. Now carefully check the middle term. The middle term you need to split such a way that if you add those two values, you should get the middle term. If you product these two or multiply these two, you should get this value, that 6x square value. So I found 2x and 3x for this middle term. So I split that into minus 2x minus 3x. And then I just took the common values from the first two terms and the last two terms. So then this is how I transform that quadratic equation into two linear factors. That is x minus 1 into 2x minus 3. If I equate either of these to 0, I can find the values for x. So that is x is 1 or x is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is about factorization method, and now we can solve another problem using the factorization method. Okay, so generally in the exams, how they give, right? In the exams, if they give the quadratic equation directly, then it is easy. Just split the middle term and take common, and you can find the roots. What if the problem is given such a way as a descriptive problem, right? So, for example, the sum of this problem is from your textbook. Okay, the sum of two numbers, is 27, and their product is 182. Find those numbers. See here, they did not give you the quadratic equation. So from the given data, we need to transform this data into a quadratic equation and then solve that so that we can find the values of these two numbers. Let's say x and y are the two numbers. Okay, there are two numbers whose sum is 27. That means x plus y is 27. And their product is x into y is 182. If I have two variables, can I get into a quadratic equation? No, right? Quadratic equation is in a single variable form, in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So what I can do is, from these two equations, substitute any one value. So here, y, can I write y as 27 minus x from this equation, x plus y equal to 27. And then I'll substitute that value of y in place of y here. X into y, right? What is y value? 27 minus x, that is 182. Now expand this. X into 27 is 27x minus x into x is x square, that equal to 182. Or I can write this as minus x square plus 27x. I'll send that 182 to the other side. So minus 182 is 0. So I want to multiply with x on both sides. That means all the signs will change. X square minus 27x plus 182 is 0. Now this is in the form of a quadratic equation, right? X square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now what is our factorization method? Take the first term and the last term and multiply. So x square into 182. That means I am getting 182x square. Now what is the middle term? The middle term is minus 27x. I need to split the middle term minus 27x into two factors such that if I add, I should get minus 27x, and if I multiply, I should get 182. So for 182, first we need to find the factors. So for 182, if I do with 2 into 91, right? So for 91, I can do factors as 13 into 7. So 2 into 7, if I multiply, that is 14 into 13. So these are the factors for 182. Why I got into this form is 14 into 13. If I add these two, I am getting 27. That's where I have stopped it, because I need to split this middle term such a way that if I add, I should get minus 27x, right? So can I say minus 13x minus 14x, right? So minus into minus plus 13 into 14 is, we just learned it is 182. X into x is x square. So by multiplying, I am getting this value. And if I add minus 13x and minus 14x, I am getting minus 27x. So the middle term, the way I have split, these exactly matching our factorization method criteria. Now, can I write this equation as x square minus 13x minus 14x plus 182 is 0, right? You may get a question like, why did I write minus 13x here and minus 14x next? Because if I see the first two terms, I can take x common. In the next two terms, if I put 13 here, yeah, we can do 13 or 14. If we put 14, then it is easy that 13 times we can do the factors here. Right. So if I take x common from the first two terms, then it becomes x into x minus 13 minus, if I take 14 common, then this becomes x minus, because I have minus 14 here, minus of minus is plus. So 14 into 13, right? That is, so 13. And also another hint is, whatever the value you get here, that should be the value here, because that's how we split the middle term. Then if I take x minus 13 common from here, then this becomes x minus 13 into x minus 14, that is 0. So let me write it here, right? So can I make x minus 13 as a 0 or x minus 14 as 0? Then x is 13 and similarly x is 14. So I can say these two, x equal to 13 or 14. These are the roots of this quadratic equation. That means the two numbers whose sum is 27 is these two numbers, 13 and 14. So if we add, we are getting 27. If we multiply, we will get 182. So this is how the problems will be asked on quadratic equation to solve using factorization method. Okay. So now in this topic, we learn how to solve a quadratic equation using a factorization method. If a descriptive problem is given, how to transform that into a quadratic equation from the given data and how to solve that. That's what we have learned. So that's about the factorization method. And thank you. Thank you for your time. That's all for today's session. I hope you all understood the topic and I will see you next time. If you have any doubt, please reach out to me using my Urban Pro profile. Thank you.